This is the Streamlight Survivor flashlight, and this has been one of the most durable and reliable pieces of equipment I've ever owned. All right, so taking a closer look at the Streamlight Survivor light, what are some of the things I really like about this light? Well, number one, durability. The day I left the fire academy, I was issued one of these by the department I work for, and this thing has held up incredibly well. This is actually my second one. I broke the first one after about 7 years or so, 8 years. We'll talk about that here in a second, about the one thing I didn't like about the older model, but these are remarkably durable. They're very difficult to break. I've dropped them, smashed them, you name it, and they held up just great. These are also rechargeable. The battery life lasts for a very long time. Now, I've never actually done a test to let it run all the way down and run out. After I come off duty, I just put it on the charger, and when I come on the next day, I just take it off. But it will last for very long periods of time. I've had this light on in constant high mode for several hours and never had an issue. It's incredibly bright. I believe this one's 175 lumens. And on the newer models, and we'll talk about this, about the older models here in a second, the lower profile lens is much, much better. The higher profile lens in the old model would get caught on things. Most firefighters wear these on the front of their gear, and I would get it hung up on stuff, and I got it stuck a few times. That's ultimately how it ended up breaking. Very easy to use. One click on top turns it on. If you press and hold it for 1 second, it goes to its low mode, and if you press and hold it for 2 seconds, it will do a kind of a strobe, like a flash, like an emergency strobe. But again, pretty easy to operate. One press for 1 second, or one press for 2 seconds. Those are really your only options. Now, a common question is this waterproof? I don't believe it's technically waterproof. If you submerge it in water, it's probably gonna end up ruining it. But I have been soaked several times. I have dropped this thing in puddles. I've been out in pouring rain. I've been soaked in a fire by getting hit with a hose line, and I've never had any issues. I just take it back, dry it off, let it dry out, and it's never stopped working. Now, what are some of the things I didn't like about it? Well, like I said, this newer model has the lower profile lens, so it doesn't get hung up on stuff. But the older one, if you have the opportunity to get an older one, that would be the one thing I really didn't like about it, is it would stick out so far. I think this one's just shy. It's between about 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch is how far it sticks out. But the angle of the light isn't that big of a deal now that it has the lower profile thing. The other thing I don't like about it that much is that it's not waterproof. Again, it's not really designed to do that, but it would be nice if you knew that you had a little bit more reliability if you were going to be in water, if you dropped it in water, if you were out on a water rescue. But all in all, if you're looking for a large, durable, long-lasting flashlight that is going to really make it through anything with you, the Streamlight Survivor is really hard to beat.